This is the story of how the most decorated female ski racer in history walked away from the sport for nearly 6 years, came back at age 41 with a titanium partial knee replacement, qualified for the Olympics, and then watched everything end in a 70-mile-per-hour crash 13 seconds into her race. On February 11th, 2026, Lindsey Vonn uploaded the first photos from her hospital bed in Treviso, Italy, a thumbs up in a heavy metal frame bolted around her left leg, visible in every frame. 3 surgeries had happened in 3 days, and the caption she attached rewired how the entire sports world thought about this comeback. Her words were, quote, "I had my 3rd surgery today, and it was successful. Success today has a completely different meaning than it did a few days ago." That single line landed like a shockwave, and the reason it carried that kind of weight only makes sense once you trace the full arc of what Lindsey Vonn put herself through to reach that starting gate. Official confirmation landed on November 14th, 2024, when word spread that Lindsey Vonn had rejoined the Stifel U.S. ski team for the 2024-25 season. 40 years old and 5 years and 9 months removed from her last competitive race, the gap-dwarfed Michael Jordan's baseball hiatus outlasted
Olympic
Tom
heartbreak
Brady's
for Lindsey Vonn.
and
The
stretched
41-year-old
well
U.S.
beyond Michael
skier
Phelps' break
crashed
from
out of the
swimming.
women's downhill.
European skiing's old guard responded with something closer to contempt than skepticism. Austrian 2-time Olympic gold medalist Michaela Dorfmeister went on national television and told viewers, quote, "Vonn should see a psychologist. Does she want to kill herself?"
Vonn making a remarkable
Climber,
comeback after a
Austria's
serious knee injury
1976
caught her
Olympic
ski
downhill
pole
champion,
in a gate.
offered a blunter assessment, saying, quote, "She's gone completely mad." Swiss legend Hermann Zurbriggen weighed in with his own theory that Vonn, quote, "hasn't recognized the meaning and purpose of her other
Early
life,
in the run, lost control and
attached
landed
a warning
awkwardly
about,
before
quote,
being pitched
a
back
risk
down the
that
slope.
Vonn will tear
Fans
her
and
artificial
teammates
knee to pieces. Vonn's response arrived on social media in December 2024, and it carried an edge. Quote, "I'm getting pretty tired of people predicting negative things about my future. Is there a reason
watched
all
in shock
former
as
Swiss
medical
skiers
personnel
think this way?
rushed to her
Did
side.
they all become
Vonn,
doctors
the
and
2010
I missed it?
downhill
Because
champion,
they talk like
had
they know more than the best doctors in the world." And that's when she surfaced a point nobody could easily talk around. Marcel Hirscher, the Austrian legend, had also emerged from retirement at a
to
similar
become the
age,
oldest alpine
and
Olympic
not a
medalist.
single voice questioned his sanity or recommended
My heart
therapy.
goes out to her.
Vonn addressed the disparity at a 2025 World Championships press conference, stating, quote, "No one asked Marcel if his life is fulfilled outside of ski racing or if he needed to see a psychologist.
Hope it's not as bad as it
That was
looked, and I
only
know
directed
like
at me."
how
And
difficult
that's
it
pretty
is
messed up.
to ski this course, and how
Racing provided her real answer. December 2024 delivered her first FIS level events at Copper Mountain, Colorado, where she placed 24th and 19th. Modest finishes that at least confirm she belonged
because you love this
on a
course so much, when you crash on it and it hurts you like that, it hurts that much worse. And so
then on December 21st, 2024, her official World Cup return at a Super G in St. Moritz produced a 14th place result after nearly 6 years off the circuit. Results climbed from there: 6th at St.
my heart just goes out to her.
4th in the
We're
Super
such a
G,
tight group.
15th at
Lindsey
the World
has really
Championships
been
in Saalbach. None of those finishes told the full story, because on March 23rd, 2025, Vonn crossed the line in 2nd place at the World Cup Finals Super G in Sun Valley, Idaho. 2,565
Obviously a
days had
huge
passed
friend
since her
and
last
mentor for all of
podium.
us, and
The comeback everyone
yeah,
dismissed
just seeing her go
now
down like
had
that,
real
it's
momentum behind it. Summer of 2025 reshaped her physically. 12 pounds of new muscle packed onto her frame. Norwegian skiing legend Axel Lund Svindal signed on as her coach, and Time magazine placed her on the cover.
It really
When
sucks.
the season opened, a
It
different
doesn't change
version
anything
of
about her
Lindsey Vonn
legacy.
appeared at the top
She's
of
a
the
fighter,
mountain.
and that's the way that she's going to go out.
0.9 of a second. That was the gap between Vonn and the rest of the field on December 12, 2025, at St. Moritz, where she captured the World Cup downhill in a sport that typically separates winners by hundreds.
Every time.
Career victory number 83 arrived that afternoon, And at age 41, she became the oldest World Cup winner in alpine skiing history, regardless of gender, demolishing the previous benchmarks held by Didier Couche at 37 for men and Federica Brignon at 34 for women.
It's a
second
all or
place
nothing,
finish came the following day.
It's a huge inspiration and to see what you can do.
Followed by a pair of thirds at Val d'Isère. Victory number 84 landed on January 10th, 2026 at Zachensee, Austria, extending her run to 5 consecutive downhill podiums.
With your body and with your mind, and it's always sad to see her crash, but you know she gives it all, and you know she can come
competitor. And a third place position in the overall standings accompanied more than 410 career World Cup starts. Gold medal favorite in the Olympic downhill. 41 years old and the fastest speed skier
but
on Earth.
I'm really sad for her. I wanted her to also succeed today, especially when I didn't.
Crans-Montana, Switzerland, January 30th, 2026. A World Cup downhill crash sent a helicopter to the slope and produced a diagnosis that would have permanently closed most athletes' seasons. A complete ACL rupture in her left knee, paired with bone bruising.
It's like when you watch downhill speed.
One detail here matters more than any other. The torn ACL occupied her left knee, while the titanium partial knee replacement sat in her right knee. 2 separate legs carrying 2 entirely different catastrophic
Everyone makes
problems.
it look so easy, and then
only 9 days stood
when one
between
thing
the
goes
crash
wrong, you see
and the
how
Olympic downhill.
high the risk is.
And most observers assumed Vonn's season had ended on that Swiss mountain. Lindsey Vonn operates on a different frequency when it comes to setbacks. Confirmation of the full rupture came February 3rd, described publicly as,
and how do you think it's gonna affect your team spirit at all?
Accompanied by an announcement that she intended to race at the Olympics regardless. A knee brace, a flight to Cortina d'Ampezzo, and 2 training runs on the Olympic course followed. 11th in the first training run and 3rd in the second, meaning she posted the 3rd fastest
Everyone knows
time
the
on
risk
the mountain
of downhill.
while skiing
No,
on
it's
a
just like, nah, it is,
destroyed ACL. February 8th, 2026. Lindsey Vonn loaded into the starting gate of the Olympic downhill at Cortina d'Ampezzo, the course where she had collected 12 World Cup victories across her career, the place they called her queendom.
Unfortunately, that's got how it
Olympic Games
shakes
at
out in our
41 years
sport.
old, a partial knee replacement holding together her right leg, and a fully ruptured ACL failing to hold together her left. 13 seconds after she pushed out of the gate, her right arm hooked inside a gate at roughly 70 miles per hour.
I think it was a mistake of the racer,
wrenched her body violently
most
offline.
of the times happen. The course
a helicopter
was
lifted her off the
bumpy.
mountain, transferred her first to a hospital in Cortina, and then moved her to Cafoncello Hospital in Treviso. Vonn later walked through the mechanics herself, stating, quote, "I was simply 5 inches too tight on my line
it's an Olympic,
when my right arm
Olympic medal race, so it has to
gate,
be a
twisting
challenging
me
downhill.
and resulted in my crash. My ACL and past injuries had nothing to do with my crash whatsoever." Teammate Kelly Cashman reinforced that account forcefully, telling reporters, quote, "Totally incorrect that ACL caused crash. People that don't know ski racing don't really understand what happened. She hooked her arm on the gate, which twisted her around.
Really well.
She was going probably 70 miles an hour.
There are some mistakes
that has nothing to do with her ACL. Doctors at Cafoncello Hospital identified a complex tibia fracture in her left leg, the same leg already carrying the torn ACL, and the nature of the break ruled out any single procedure fix.
And unfortunately,
a staged surgical approach, meaning multiple operations spread across consecutive days, became the treatment plan. Surgery number 1 took place the evening of the crash on February 8th, an emergency orthopedic procedure to stabilize the fracture. Hospital staff confirmed the operation also addressed potential complications.
Yeah, I know she was probably wanting to be retired probably after these Olympics.
Medical experts indicated this likely involved internal fixation, a metal rod inserted directly into the bone to hold the fragments in position. Roughly a day later, a second surgery followed. Exact details
I
never
wish her the
reached
best in
public,
retirement.
though medical
And go
experts
Team USA.
suggested the procedure may have targeted compartment syndrome prevention, which is a dangerous pressure buildup inside the leg that commonly accompanies tibia fractures and can turn life-threatening without fast intervention. February 11th brought the third surgery, and this was the one Vonn chose to share with the world.
And welcome back to Local 4 Live, everybody.
3
I'm Nick
photos
Monticelli.
appeared
Thank
on
you
her
for being here
Instagram
on
feed,
your Monday
the first
morning.
images anyone outside her inner circle had seen from inside the hospital. An external fixator dominated the frame, a metal scaffolding attached outside her leg with steel pins driven through the skin to hold fractured bone fragments in alignment.
Over in Italy.
Her left hand offered a thumbs up.
Lindsey Vonn
the caption
is
read,
recovering.
quote, I had my third surgery today, and it was successful. Success today has a completely different meaning than it did a few days ago. I'm making progress, and while it is slow, I know I'll be okay. Thankful for all of the incredible medical staff, friends, family who have been by my side, and the beautiful outpouring of love and support from people around the world. Dr. Mark Schultzel, an orthopedic surgeon at Sharp Memorial Hospital who serves on the U.S. Olympic team medical staff, described the external fixator as, quote, essentially an erector set around the knee to stabilize a broken joint.
Very hard.
6 to 8 weeks off her leg represented the minimum recovery window before she could undergo definitive internal fixation, meaning plates positioned along the inside of the bone, according to his estimate. On top of all that, the ruptured ACL in her left leg still demands a completely separate future operation. Schultzel also offered something nobody expected, saying, quote, don't forget, she has a partial knee replacement on the other knee and is still skiing at 70+ miles an hour. Never count her out. She's pretty incredible. Dr. Petrosini, speaking to CNN, delivered a prognosis that carried cautious optimism.
We're trying to get a better idea.
Quote, everything points in the direction where she can achieve a full recovery from this. Before word of the third surgery reached anyone, Vonn had already posted what may stand as the defining statement of her entire career.
The video does it justice.
Writing from her hospital bed on February
impact
9th, the day after the crash, she addressed the world directly. Quote, yesterday, my Olympic dream did not finish the way I dreamt it would. It wasn't a storybook ending.
Well, listen, these athletes
tale.
are going very fast. I'm actually sitting.
I dared to dream and had worked so hard to achieve it. While yesterday did not end the way I had hoped, and despite the intense physical pain it caused, I have no regrets. Standing in the starting gate yesterday was an incredible
you can't really
feeling
see it because it's dark here, right in front
forget.
of where the 2002 women's downhill was. We're finished.
I jumped. I hope if you take away anything from my journey, it's that you all have the courage to dare greatly. Breezy Johnson, Vonn's teammate, captured Olympic downhill gold that same afternoon. Afterward, Johnson revealed a detail that cut through all the surrounding noise
before the Olympics.
That Vonn's coach had told her Lindsey was cheering for her from the helicopter while being airlifted to the hospital. IOC President Kirsty Coventry released a statement reading,
netting.
Quote,
after receiving
Dear
some
Lindsey,
medical attention,
we're
she
all thinking
was
of you.
eventually able
You
to
are
ski
an
down
incredible
the
inspiration and will always be an Olympic champion. Alan Kildow, Vonn's father, spoke to the Associated Press with a finality that carried the weight of a parent's exhaustion, saying, quote, she's 41 years old and this is the end of her career. There will be no more ski races for Lindsey Vonn as long as I have anything to say about it. No official retirement announcement has come from Vonn herself. And FIS President Johan Elias told reporters he, quote, wouldn't count her out for 2030 when she would be 45, a statement that lands differently when you remember this is a woman who built her entire career on destroying confident predictions about what she could not do. Think about the distance covered in those 20 months. Lindsey Vonn went from being unable to walk 20 minutes with a child to standing as the oldest World Cup winner in alpine skiing history. A titanium implant in her right knee turned her into the first World Cup skier ever to compete with a partial knee replacement, a territory her own coaching staff admitted lacked almost any supporting research. 2 victories, 7 podiums, a commanding lead in the World Cup downhill standings, and a 5th Olympic appearance at 41. All of it built on a joint that the medical literature barely understood in an athletic context. 5 inches of racing line separated a clean run from the crash that put her in a hospital bed. That razor margin between glory and catastrophe has defined downhill skiing since the sport began, and Vonn understood it better than any person alive. Before the race, she framed it in her own way,
but was
quote,
noticeably
as many times as I've crashed,
knee.
I've always gotten
Vonn was
up.
then airlifted
As many
off
times as
the
I've
mountain.
failed,
Lindsey
I've
Vonn
always
is sharing
won.
an update on her scary
3 surgeries
experience
in
at
3
the
days
Olympics.
did not end her
Days after
story.
crashing
They
during the women's
reshaped
downhill.
what the word successful means. A thumbs up from a hospital bed in Treviso progress that moves slowly
at the
but
Milan
continues
Cortina
to
Winter
move,
Games, requiring
and a
her to
woman
be
who
airlifted
decided
off
the
the course.
definition of
The skier
success
reveals
needed
she
updating. Counting Lindsey Vonn out has always felt like a losing bet, and whether she races again or not,
third surgery
the
for
comeback
her leg.
already
Riding
accomplished
alongside
what
a
she
series
set
of
out to
photos in a
prove.
hospital bed. I had
Trying
my
was
third
never the
surgery
crazy
today.
part. If this video gave you something to sit with, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment telling me where you come down
successful.
on
Success
Vonn's
today
choice
has
to
a
race
complete
the
different
Olympic
meaning than it
downhill
did a few
on
days
a
ago.
torn
I'm making progress,
ACL.
and while it's
Courageous, reckless, or something in between, I want to hear your take on it, and I will catch you in the next one.
I know I'll be okay. A week before